YouTube fam? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hello, welcome. My name is Megan, and I am so excited for today's video because I'm going to be walking you guys through how to get back on track with your fitness routine and actually make a routine that sticks. I really want to focus this video on helping you guys to rebuild and create a long-lasting and sustainable healthy lifestyle that is more than just going to the gym. My goal with this is to help you guys revive your love for fitness and wellness and just take care of yourself in 2025. We all go through different seasons of life that impact how we navigate it, but it's so important to try our best to have wellness at the forefront, or at least make movement a priority in our day-to-day routine. I sometimes refrain from using the phrase getting back on track because I think that sometimes it can make you feel like you really fell off or you really diverged from the path that you were supposed to be on. But I really personally view it more as getting back onto your next track. The goal isn't to revert back to how you used to be. The goal is to now find what your new normal is going to be and be able to adapt your routine to your lifestyle to make sure that it has longevity and sustainability in your life currently. And I know these videos can become very redundant. I feel like people have the exact same advice all the time, like just start, just go to the gym, have a plan, remember your why, like all of that kind of stuff. And I agree with all of it. I've done videos talking about that. I wanted to try my best to give you guys really real tips that help me. I struggled a lot in 2023 with my fitness journey, and 2024, I did all of these steps and focused on all these things throughout the year. So it didn't just happen like that. And I wanted to give you guys like that realistic advice that I really do find helped me. I have broken up what I want to talk about in this video into 4 sections. So those 4 sections are going to be movement, nutrition, mindset, and balance. So I'm going to talk to you guys about all of those sections. Starting off, I need a little caffeine. I can't lie. So I have my PE Science. I have like a cute little mini fridge with all of my energy drinks, and I love these Versa energy drinks. They're kind of like my go-to right now. These are so good, and since I'm at home, I can just crack it open and not have to pour it into a shaker cup, but typically I would pour it into a shaker. I do have a code with PE Science. It is code SHMEGS, and that will save you guys 10% off, I believe, on your purchase and support me. But while we're right here, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the movement part of getting back on track in 2025, because I find that movement is medicine, and I really do view movement as the number one thing that you can implement into your life that can range from anywhere from 5 minutes to 2 hours, just depending on the time you have, but it can make such a huge difference. Number one thing that I would say is to start small. I can't tell you enough how much I see with coaching clients and just people that I meet that I build programs for, when they fall off and they say like, okay, I want to get back into it. I'm going to start going to the gym every day, or I'm going to start going 5 days a week. And I love the ambition, and I always commend that. The thought is great. However, that is the quickest and easiest way to either burn yourself out or get injured if you're not properly taking care of yourself in other ways. So my more practical advice is to actually take the normal amount of days that you want to get to and subtract that by 2. Unless you want just 2 days, then don't subtract by 2. But usually people are like, okay, I want to work out 7 days. Let's start you at like a 5. Or people want to start at 5. Let's start you at a 3. So start in a way that you can build rather than a way that you have to subtract, because I've noticed for a lot of people that if you start a habit at a higher frequency than you're able to attain and maintain, and then you have to lessen, you feel like you're failing. Better for your mind to do the opposite way, so building up rather than building down. My next really big piece of advice is to start comfortable. So start small and start comfortable. And the reason that I say this is because this is what's going to lessen your anxiety about getting back into training, and also help you to make sure that you feel good and comfortable as you get back into things. What I mean by start comfortable is start in the area of the gym that you feel most comfortable. Start maybe at home if you have a home setup. Start just with free weights as opposed to machines and heavy barbells. So starting a little bit smaller, starting more comfortable equipment-wise is going to help you to then build up. And the same goes for movement duration. And then my last and honestly most important tip, and something that I live by with my coaching clients, is that you have to prioritize and do the movement that fits right in your life and that fits your goals properly. And I see a lot of people, you know, they want to get back in the groove and they're super inspired by something or someone, and so they want to take up exactly what that person is doing. And while that's great, it sometimes doesn't actually click for you and it doesn't stick for you because it's not made for you. It's made for somebody else. So really taking your time to figure out, what are my goals? what can I do to complement them in my lifestyle? That is gonna be something that actually sticks and that you're able to stick with. And I think a big thing is finding a program that works right for you, whether that's getting a custom program, making a custom program, starting off just copying workouts or week of workouts, or that's actually just like buying somebody's guide. And that was something that I did when I started my fitness journey. I would take inspiration from other people and make my own workout guides for myself. And that is like my number one thing. And that is what stuck for me last year, was I was constantly creating myself new 4 to 8 week training guides that kept me on a track, that kept me with a purpose and a goal, and also kept me organized so that I never had to go to the gym and think in my head or write in my notes app, what am I doing today? And not to plug myself, okay, you guys can go and use whatever app or program or whatever you want, but I do want to let you guys know, as a lot of you guys have been requesting, especially over on Instagram, I'm bringing back guides in 2025, which a lot of you guys had noticed. I used to sell guides when I was in college. A lot of you guys noticed I took them down. I just felt like they were my college me level guides, and I knew that I could level it up and make it better quality for you guys. And so I really took a lot of time on this first guide to make sure that it was perfect, and I'm so excited to be launching it. This is going to be a 4-week revive guide, really focused on reviving you and getting you back into the gym or just starting the gym completely fresh. And I'm just super duper excited about this, and the whole purpose of it is to revive, reset, and restart, not only for the new year, but just in your fitness journey, so you don't have to use it in the first month of the year. You can use it at any point. So it is going to be a 3-day workout split for 4 weeks. It's dumbbell only, so it's complementary to home setups that have adjustable dumbbells, or the gym where you can grab those dumbbells and the weights you need and go into your safe corner. So it's just one of those guides that eases you back in the same way that I'm talking about starting small and starting comfortable. So feel free to purchase that. I'll have all the links and everything down below. I also do coaching and personalized programs, so I have a bunch of options now in terms of what I offer for you guys, as well as lots of free content on here that you guys can follow. So that is the workout portion. Start small, start comfortable, have a plan, and make sure that it fits into your life well. Now let's go and get my workout in, then we'll talk more. I just finished my workout. So good, made it happen with my home gym situation down here. But I'm gonna run you guys through the next category, which is going to be all about nutrition. When it comes to nutrition, I am probably one of the more lenient, understanding people out there, especially in the fitness space. I feel like there's a lot of people who are very avid about tracking and about food selection and meal prepping and everything and counting macros, and that's just not really where I'm at in my fitness journey. I don't know if I'll ever be at that place in my fitness journey, to be honest with you guys. I've always had a good relationship with food ever since going to college and really studying nutrition and learning what are all these macro and micronutrients, how do they work in our body, what is a calorie. When you kind of understand the science, it makes it, 1, easier to understand, and 2, less dramatic. When you think about one day off is gonna, ruin everything, you learn that that's really just not how it is. But I'm gonna take you guys through my top things for nutrition when you're reviving your fitness routine and trying to get back into a good groove. My biggest philosophy, and I tell this to all my coaching clients, even just like people in my life, is add, don't subtract. It is super common when you're trying to get back into a solid routine that people try to change absolutely everything at once. They want to get into lifting, they want to start doing cardio, they want to do core, they want to eat cleaner, they want to add supplements, they want to start a different diet, just all these different things. And while all of them have a really good purpose and while all of them can be very positive habits to add to your routine, trying to do everything at once is not going to usually be something that they can sustain long term. When you think of your diet, think of what it looks like right now and what you want it to look like, and think of only the things right now that you can add to your routine that are attainable, that are affordable, that you can start doing right now. So for me, that would be drinking more water, having like a water goal in a day. Starting supplementation, again, if I've already supplemented these things before, looking at things like your vitamin supplementation as opposed to protein to start. Then as you start to get into a good workout routine, starting to add in that protein supplementation when you're really at a good place with your fitness journey and you're really consistent, then think about creatine supplementation. So doing it in a way that is methodical, but also makes sense with what kind of activity you're currently doing. So just think of the small things that you can add in terms of your diet, eating more whole foods, buying more whole foods, looking at food labels more when you're at the grocery store. Those are all small habits that then will help you to get closer and closer to your goals, and then you can start becoming more and more specific once you have those habits down. And on the topic of shopping, I think one of my top tips when it comes to nutrition is to shop for meals, not ingredients. I used to be an ingredient girl, and I used to just buy like a bunch of things that I thought would be good, but I had no purpose. And now every single weekend I sit down and I think, what meals are we gonna make this week? What kind of things do I want for lunches? What kind of things do I want for breakfast? And I have a list with ingredients that actually correlate to meals. And with nutrition, something that's really important to me to always tell you guys is that restriction can also be unhealthy. So the same way it can be unhealthy to constantly eat the wrong foods, it can also be unhealthy to restrict yourself and your body of experiences and trying out good foods every once in a while as well. So for me, I always aim to eat all of my meals in a week other than 2. So I always give myself like 2 meals that I can eat out with friends, with family, to gather. Obviously with the holidays and things that were going on, I was eating out a lot more, and that's okay. So I think just remembering you can't restrict yourself too much, because that's just gonna make you not enjoy this process and not really enjoy your life. 1. 2, it might make you miss out on certain things, and 3, it might make you, when you're able to indulge, overindulge, because you literally have been restricting yourself for so long. But we're gonna go upstairs, we're gonna get a shower, and then we'll chat about the last 2 things. The next thing that I'm gonna talk to you guys about while I'm doing my skincare is just gonna be mindset, because I feel like all of these tips are applicable to way more than just building a healthy lifestyle. Nothing I'm gonna say is like truly profound or anything new, but it's just things that really stuck with me and clicked with me personally, and things that I personally think about in my day-to-day life. The biggest thing that you probably see all around but is so true is building discipline, and how discipline can change your life. So for me, I always viewed discipline as just like sticking to something. I never really viewed it as keeping promises you make to yourself. When I realized I'm not keeping the promises I'm making, I'm saying I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna go to the gym, or I'm saying that I'm gonna, start training more or trying this certain workout, whatever it may be, and I'm not doing it. One of my biggest issues with discipline still to this day is waking up when I say I'm gonna wake up, because I am not disciplined in the morning with like waking up and getting my day going. And expanding more on keeping promises that you make yourself, I think it's also remembering how many promises and things that we make others and how we stand firm on them, but how we struggle to do that for ourselves. So for example, I am an online coach, so my life is surrounded by making workout plans for people, making sure people show up for their workouts. I also work as a physical therapist assistant, so helping people get better after injury. My work is all surrounded by helping people be better, like helping people show up for themselves, get in better shape, and just live better functional lives. I can show up every single day and I can help those people to be better, but I am not showing up for myself then to be better sometimes. I think that's a good way to look at it. Is like, I saw someone say, you can report and work for somebody for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You can also report and work for yourself for anywhere from 5 minutes to 50 minutes a day, working out as well. That would be a really big one. It's just like building discipline and building trust with yourself to do the things you say that you're gonna do, and that makes you a more trustworthy person to yourself, but then also to others. So having discipline and showing up for yourself the way that you do for other people are 2 huge mindset shifts that have helped and clicked for me really, really well. And then I really love the quote, trust the seeds that you are planting. I think a lot of people do things and they hope that they see things immediately. I am that way. I'm the most impatient girl in the world. It's so bad. Nothing happens the day that you start. It's very rare with anything that you can be successful the day that you start, especially if you're a beginner at something. Starting today is planting those small seeds. Trees take a long time to grow and be beautiful. Same thing for your fitness journey. You have to be in it for the long run and continue to water those seeds and show up and keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening. It's all growing below the surface. There's this picture, I'll see if I can find it, and it stuck with me as well, but it's showing like how growth isn't always visual, and how below the soil there's so many roots being grown and planted, but up top it's only a sprout. And it's the same thing with your fitness journey. Like, you may not see everything right away, but in your body there's so much happening. And then I saw a quote the other day too that I really liked. I actually wrote it down on this notepad because I didn't want to lose it. And it says, the day you plant the seeds isn't the day you eat the fruit. So remembering that the day that you start isn't the day that you get all of the benefits, but the day that you start is still so important, or else you won't bear fruit ever. And the last thing that I want to talk about with you guys is going to be balance, which I'm just going to talk about it right now because I'm already here. Balance is something that I stress a lot. It is really like my brand, I would say, like on social media and like in my personal life. I started lifting when I was in college, which is for a lot of people a very hard time to be balanced and a very hard time for you to commit to lifting because there's just so much expected of you. You're in a new environment. You may be like living alone for the first time. You may be living with people for the first time. It's a period of doing a lot of things you've never done before, having, freedoms that you've never had before. And a lot of people don't know how to manage that as well as start lifting or taking care of their nutrition. So for me, when I started lifting at that time, a huge thing that I always told myself going into that was that I was never going to trade fitness or wellness for my social life or for my friendships, for my family. I was always going to make sure that there was time for everything, and I tried to make time for everything, even with my studies and things like that. And that is something that I have been honestly really good with my entire fitness journey overall. I've been able to set healthy boundaries with everything and find ways to prioritize everything. And that's not to say that I do a perfect job all the time. There's always kind of something that's lacking if something's doing really well. And so just remembering that you're going to have seasons of your life where things are really, really good with fitness, seasons of your life where you're focused more on your friendships, times in your life where you're focused more on your family. It's just a constant cycle, but it's learning how to manipulate your gym routine to fit whatever phase of life you're in, as opposed to just getting rid of it or saying that it's not as important as that phase. And one of my favorite things to tell people, especially my clients, is that attainable equals sustainable. If you want something to be sustainable long term, you need to make sure that it's something that you can actually reach 9 times out of the 10. I think a really big downfall for a lot of people is that they create these unattainable expectations of themselves, and then when they fail, they're disappointed in themselves, but it's like you've already kind of set yourself up to fail. And so making sure that you build a routine that makes sense for you and that you can actually achieve even with all the other variables in your life, that's huge. I also like to say that consistency is greater than perfection. Showing up more times than you don't is still huge. Small steps still equal big progress over time. The biggest thing, there's so many benefits to movement and to prioritization of your health, but there are also so many benefits to living your life fully. And so you want to make sure you can try your best to find the balance between the two, and that balance looks different for every single person. So it's going to take a little bit of time to figure that out, but that should be your goal throughout this entire process, looking inward and saying, did I balance all of this well? And if you didn't, then that's okay. Then you have to look in, okay, what could I do a little bit differently to better balance all of this? All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. Wow, this lighting is insane. I hope it helped even just one of you guys. If you guys need any extra support, feel free to reach out to me or apply for coaching or buy a program or comment, and I'm here to help you in any way that I can. You got this, and good luck on your fitness journey here in 2025. More content to come. Mwah.